Now for this project I've printed all the pages out, I've got all my papers ready. Now first of all I'm going to make the frame. I've printed out the round frame here, so all you have to do first of all, and I like to do this from the inside out, is cut out the circle in the middle and then all the way around the outside. Now that's cut out as neatly as possible. Take away the middle, and then all you have to do is trim around the outsides as well. Okay, that's cut out nicely now, and I've got this green, nice pale green here that I want to use as the background. So all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of glue and just stick this to it. Next I've got my piece of white card here, and I'm just going to stick it to the front to just create a nice framed picture frame effect there, so I can start building my design over the top. So just position this at one end, because you're going to add another piece of, and just leave a little white border around the edge if you can, if it's just small enough. That flattens down there like that. Now what you want to need to do with this one, because you want it to fold, is just leaving that little white line again like you've got all the way around. Just go to the edge here like this, and using an embossing tool, a small tipped one, just crease it down there. And then fold it over like so, so that's on the back. Now you've got that's your front there. That's the back. Well, that's not much use, is it? But you get another piece of card, and if you add glue to this section, like that, just slide your, whoops, just take that off, just slide your piece of card into there, just butt it up to where the crease is, make sure it's perfectly level, and then stick it to the back there like that. Then you've got a card which opens up like that, as you can see. Now whether you want to cut along here or leave it like that and have a card that opens up with a long bit at the back. I think I'm going to keep it fairly squarish. Oh no, I think what I'm going to do is just put one level, so you can make these things up as you go along. I'm just going to put it up to the edge of the card there, and just trim it down there. So that's the card bit, and then I'm just going to, you see you've got the card there, then I'm going to add another piece of coloured paper into here to create that effect, getting it ready for my daffodils that I'm going to make. I've stuck some nice green paper in there which I'm going to use for the stems of the daffodils, and I've just creased it over there. If I turn this over and just apply a little bit more glue onto the back here, don't even have to trim the little white bits off. And then that can fold over and stick down at the bottom like so. And then that gives you a nice border there, and also you can see both sides kind of thing, so it makes it even more nicer, more firmer, more solid kind of card. Now I want to create some leaves and stems. Now I've just got this little bit of green paper here which I've printed on both sides, 2 different tones. Now if I want to make some stems, I just want some nice strips like this, and just cut them like this, nice thin strips. But we are also going to crease them down the middle. So if I just put that there, I'm going to use that side, but I'm going to put a little crease down the middle, like that, and just use the embossing tool and just put a little groove in the back there. That just makes it easier to fold, and then you've got more of a 3D kind of stem. So just fold that over like so, all the way along, if you can get the idea, and that gives you a stem that sticks out a little bit more 3D. And we're also going to make some leaves. Now, the same piece of paper, or the kind of paper, you can just cut out some leaf shapes and just start. Be careful with a scalpel, and you've got a rough kind of a, you know, it's like a long, just a kind of a daffodil leaf. As you can see, those are like long shapes. You can cut as many as you want out. Then again, if you want, do this randomly. Do this, because you can't use a ruler. It's just crease them down the middle using your embossing tool, and that will help them just bend slightly, like so. It just gives you a little bit more of a 3D look, and it will bend exactly where you've put the crease. Just needs a little time fiddling. And quite often what happens with these leaves, you'll find the tips kind of fold back, so you can fold that back there like that and carry on bending if you want, but I'm going to leave it like that. So you can create as many of these leaves as you want. I'm just going to fold that a little bit better. There you go, flatten it down. So you can now start creating as many leaves as you want. Now I'm making the leaves for the daffodils. Now I've already cut one out here, as you can see. Doesn't mean you have to cut every one out. You can just butt up to the next one, and all you've got to do is take your scalpel and follow the line of the last one like so. So that is there cut out. And again, if you want, you can crease it down the middle. Just use a embossing tool, just freehand, just keep it smooth, and just follow the line of the leaf down the middle. Just fold it over like so. Just do it a little bit to start off with, so it starts to fold. And then quite often with these leaves, you can either keep it all the way like that, fold all the way down to the end, or sometimes these leaves kind of turn over, don't they? So you get that kind of effect. So I'm going to crease that a little bit better, all the way down there, fold that over, and you can make as many leaves as you want. Now, as you can see, I've cut out lots of stems here and lots of foliage as well, the leaves for the daffodils or narcissus, whichever you want to make. So for now, just put those to one side, because what we're going to make next is the actual flowers, the daffodils or narcissus. Now what I've got here is a template, and I've also printed on two sides here a daffodil yellow and a kind of an orangey kind of trumpet colour as well. Now, it doesn't matter at this stage which side you put this on, but there is your template. And you want to try and get out, you can get as many different sizes as you want. You want to get out as much as you can out of the paper. So just taking a little bit of masking tape, just mask these down. And just move that to one side a little bit. As you can see there, just use some masking tape and just hold them in position like so. Now you can see on the templates you've got the little dotted lines. Now that's where the fold is actually going to happen. So before you start cutting it out, just go around with your embossing tool and just crease over where the dots are. And if you just follow this around and just crease as you go along. Now before you start cutting out the template, it's always a good idea to just trim around it so it makes it easier to cut out. Just put that to one side, and then you've already creased these, so all you've got to do now is follow the template round. If you're very careful, you can use this time and time again. So just cut the shape out. Now the template is cut out, it's ready to fold, and because you've already creased it, that's very easy. So if you just watch now what I'm doing, it's so simple and so easy. You fold this one bit over. The bit you want to be dark, the centre, is the bit you fold back like that. So that's your first fold, just simply around, and do the next fold over, so it overlaps it slightly. It will naturally crease down the side there, and then fold that one over. You're creating a daffodil flower, narcissus, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be daffodils in this case. That folds back there, and you're creating the centre there again. This folds up. Now when you fold this one over, just lift the first one over so it just tucks underneath there, and then fold that back as well. And then turn this around, lift it up, slot it underneath, and crease, let it crease. Then I'm folding that back, and then you've just got to make sure they all slot inside each other. Right, let me just open this very quickly because I missed the last bit. That goes over there, that goes over there, that goes over there, that goes over there, and that one slots underneath there and comes out there. So then you've created your daffodil or your narcissus or whatever you want to call it. Now the great thing about these, you can make as many as you like in different sizes, or you can use them in different colours. That one's got a paler background, so it's more like a narcissus than a daffodil. And when you've got them, you can put them on your card and that, but you can keep little things inside there. You can put some sweeties, or you could put some messages, or you could put all sorts of little goodies in there. Anyway, we've got our flowers now, and we've also got the stems and the leaves, so let's make our card up. Okay, so I'm going to start adding the stems first, and I want some long stems and some short stems. Now you can either use foam pads or silicone glue, or in this case I'm just going to use a couple of blobs of glue on each one. So first of all, add your stems. Your stems are quite straight, so you want them kind of sticking up quite regimentally, and I've got some of the colours going one way with the pale and some with the dark. All you do is just press them down gently. You don't want to lose the whole of the kind of the volume effect. So those are my stems. Now you just do exactly the same with the leaves, and again I'm just putting a few little blobs of glue, pressing it down gently because I want them raised up quite a bit, so you don't need to want them sticking down all over. And just let the leaves overlap so they look quite natural, and they can pile up on top of each other as well. can play around with these until you're really happy with how they look. Now I've played around with the daffodil heads and I know where I want them now, and I've put a foam pad on the back so it still gives you a little bit of height, and I'm just going to assemble these on here now. Put one there, got a slightly smaller one here, that's going to go about there. Kind of doing a circle with these so it goes around, leaving the middle open quite a bit so that you can still see the leaves and that going through. I've got that one there, and finally I'm going to finish off with that one there in the middle.